Hello, fellas and ladies. Here we are once again with another Oscar prediction, but I'm very excited to be joined by Adriano Caporusso here. Thank you for joining me on this channel. I'm glad that we finally got the chance to collaborate here on the YouTube space.
Yeah, I'm down. Thank you so much for for inviting me on here. I'm glad to talk about trophies.
Absolutely.
First time.
Nothing but the trophies. That's all the talk this season, and I know I myself get very excited to get on here and chat about that stuff. And yeah, I'm very happy to have you on this series. And today we will be getting into the directing and writing categories. So, like usual, we're just going to give you all our five and bounce back and forth, see where we line up, where our picks intersect, and just kind of discuss, the certain outliers in the situation. Now, I know you have some very strong convictions when it comes to a certain couple of movies, and I'm really interested to see where we fall on that. I think there might be some interesting arguments to be had against each other. But yeah, let's get into it, man. I think we should probably let's start with original screenplay, because I think that this category, it seems for the most part that it's pretty locked up. But at the same time, I definitely feel like there is a little bit of chaos in knowing what that last slot is. So I guess I'll kick it off, and I think you're probably going to have the same number one as me. I think the clear frontrunner in this category and potential winner of this is Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I just think that this is so undeniable, and especially if we're looking at trends at the Oscars. You see Jordan Peele won for Get Out. They like rewarding horror directors in this category who really made a big splash. And I mean, this is one of the most culturally influential and landmark movies of this year and onwards. And so I think I don't want to say it's completely obvious that he's going to win, but this almost feels like a for sure thing to me. What do you say?
Yeah, I do agree. Sinners and Coogler are looking like the supposed frontrunner at the moment. I mean, just from a pure logistics standpoint, like Critics' Choice and right, WGA, it's that in the bag, and we'll see what happens with BAFTA and Globe, but I have my bets. It's kind of like what you. It's just Coogler's just having just such an unbelievable moment. Um, and I think it's just so easy to see, like, and PTA obviously kind of leapfrogged him a little bit, but he doesn't have to worry about that here. And Sinners, kind of like you said, like there's a genre thing that happens with screenplay winners. It's like, and just the idea of its originality will really appeal to voters of like, who do we want to vote for an original screenplay? And it doesn't get much more original than Sinners. And I think the key thing that's really going to propel this movie is that it's like critics are going for it.
Yeah,
Other than One Battle, obviously, Sinners is like absolutely like in second place with critics across the board.
100%. And it's interesting because originally we thought maybe it was like Hamnet or something, but I feel like as these weeks go on, like Sinners has done nothing but like gain strength and maintain
Yeah.
that position. So yeah, I really think, well, once we get to director, we'll talk about that as well, because I'm starting to come around on a couple things. But yeah, this almost feels like this is going to be the one Oscar. Well, there will be a couple more Oscars. I think Sinners will win, but this one seems
Yeah.
like a pretty sure
It
bet.
seems like the main one in a way.
Exactly. And now, once we get to number two, I'm wondering if you have the same number two as me, because I think in second place, almost firmly, is Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident.
Agree.
Okay. See? There we go.
I agree.
But
Uh,
yeah.
you
No, go
want to talk
ahead.
about having a moment. Panahi is really just like really having his time. Like he's winning prizes a lot. Not really in this category, to be completely honest, but he's just like every opportunity they have to get him on a stage, they'll take it. My thing is that I think voters are gonna take that for international feature, and I'm gonna go on a limb here and say a lot of voters don't know that he does not win that Oscar.
Mm.
But that is how I think it's gonna land. Um, but yeah, it was just an accident. It's just such an obvious beast right now. And this seems like a bare minimum nomination. Like even if like some God forbid somehow this movie like gets struck in picture, which is impossible, but like just as a what if, it would still get this nomination. And I do believe in the winning theory.
Yeah,
I just think Sinners has a bit of a leg up.
that's the thing, because it's like you see just how much people love this, and you could compare this to Anatomy of Fall. Now, I think Anatomy of Fall is a much tighter, and this is not a knock at Jafar Panahi's script at all. I think this is an
They're different
excellent movie.
scripts.
Exactly, and I just think that Anatomy of Fall definitely screams like when I saw that movie, I'm like, oh, this is the best script of the entire year. So I
Yeah.
wonder though, it does have similar momentum. It won the Palme d'Or. People love the movie, so I could totally see this like in a shocking upset, even though I don't think it will be like entirely all that shocking.
I've seen that comparison a couple times, and I don't think I think its path could be similar,
Mm-hmm.
but I would also say Anatomy of a Fall was definitely a little bit stronger than it was just an accident at this stage. You had that acting nomination, like with Sandra and all that, and yeah, like kind of like you said, Anatomy of a Fall is like a mystery courtroom thriller. Like I don't think it's quite the same, but although I agree with the trajectory. It could be similar, but I feel like they are a little more amped to reward Coogler than Panahi, and I think they have other ways to reward Panahi in their head.
Sure, and to be fair, like to that point about Coogler, I mean he's kind of got more of an overdue narrative going on because I mean he already has had a movie in Best Picture. I mean one of the biggest movies of all time, really. So it makes sense that this being his epic magnum opus that they would
Yeah,
want to reward him.
this feels like more his accomplishment than Black
Mhm.
Panther was. Like it's his movie for sure, but like it's easy to look at that as a Marvel fit movie. This
Sure.
is more like Coogler's moment because it's Coogler's movie through and through, and I think voters recognize that. Although I'm not gonna say that voters can't feel that way about Panahi as well. Although I'm just a lot of voters. Let's just be honest here. Just for a lot of voters, their first Panahi movie.
Sure. I mean, this is I went on my way to watch Taxi before I saw this one, which is great. But yet
Oh,
again, like
excellent.
I wouldn't have gone out of my way to see that probably if it weren't for the fact with all the buzz around this movie and going to TIFF. But
Yeah.
also, I find it. Don't you find it hysterical that like even though Anatomy of a Fall was a stronger contender, this is going to be France's winner in international feature potentially, and Anatomy of a Fall wasn't even nominated.
I think they all I'm saying is that there's like that did not influence their decision to pick this movie over Nobel Hawk. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you
Like
might
I
have
think
a point there.
they definitely know that they fucked up big time.
Yeah, but that movie's doing pretty well for
Yes.
some reason. I still am shocked by that, but but anyways, I think now we're getting to our third lock in the category, and I'm wondering if you're lock and step with me on this as well. But in number three, I have Esco Vogt and Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value.
I have them at number four,
Oh,
but
okay.
they might as well be number three. Like they're good again. Like they got him for worst person. This is like stronger than that. Like as a contender, I like worst person more, but this script is pretty exceptional. It's like three or four that are interchangeable to me. Uh, Sentimental value in general, I can see having it a bit of like okay, it's not top five anymore type of thing, but it's still gonna get its nominations. And this is like a bare minimum thing. Kind of like I said about accidents. It's like, let's just for the sake of like, it will never happen, but like, let's say for the sake of argument, it leaves the picture like 10, it's still gonna get this. So yeah, no, I could put it at three. Is my point.
Sure. Well, so do you think that anything else in the third or fourth slots have a shot after the top two or no to win? I mean.
Win wise, no. Just because like these all four of these films, I've seen all four of them, and they're they're all screenplay films, like in a way. And then you kind of have to go the next level, which is all right, who do they want to reward? I don't think there's much of a rush to reward Joachim Trier,
Mm.
with respect to him. And yeah, I've seen, even though they're not a majority, I think we've both seen the people who were like, "Oh, that was great, not amazing," with sentimental value. They're not a majority, obviously,
Sure.
but I think that like enough of those people will be like, "Okay, that's why I don't think it has a shot at winning."
Sure, I could see that. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Adriano, because when I first saw it, like, also keep in mind it was like 9:30 at night, and I gotten up at like 5:30 in the morning. But I rewatched it again last week, and I absolutely love the film now. But I felt similarly the first time I saw it. And so yeah, I definitely feel like it was weird because it was on a huge high at Cannes, it went down a little bit at TIFF, and now it's kind of going back up. So it's
Yeah, in general, just the festivals, like yeah, Cannes was like this meteoric, like holy shit moment. Like I remember texting our mutual friend Justin. He was going like I was pinching myself, and then I watched it. And I was like, "This is an excellent film, but Worst Person's so much better." Like,
it's interesting because I really like Worst Person in the World, but for me, I was like this one. I'm like this is the one that really did it for me. But I
I need to see it
completely
again.
understand.
It's still like a 9 out of 10 movie for me, but like I didn't
Mm.
get that like juggernaut hit until I was on the subway home going because I saw it before TIFF, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and initially I was like, yeah, it was a great film. I love the direction, performance is all great. Then on the way home, I was like, oh, wait a minute, we definitely need to pop that DVD in, like just to see it again.
Oh, dude, it plays so much better on rewatch, and
Oh,
I assure
I
you
could
that,
tell watching it the first time, like this is a rewatch movie.
dude. As soon as I walked out of the theater, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this a lot more. And like even before I saw it again, I raised my rating for it because I was before I did my review, I was like, no, like this is a great film. But I definitely think that for that reason alone, the screenplay has so much depth. And so many like moving pieces in regards to the dynamics between these characters that are so emotionally complex and so surprising, and it's an amazing feat in writing. So I definitely
It
think
is.
that's in there. And so my number four, you have it number three. Now I haven't seen this movie yet because I know what you're going to say, but I feel like maybe this could change for me as well once I see Marty Supreme this Christmas season.
I have seen it. That movie, that's a screenplay movie, through and
Mm.
through, in my eyes. Like if Coogler and Panahi weren't duking it out, I think I would put Safdie in that conversation. But here we are. But nonetheless, like that's a nomination waiting to happen. Like the dialogue is so, and like just some of the things that Timothy Chalamet's character says in this movie, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a like as a writer, that's absolutely bizarre. Um, yeah, I have no, again, simply something about value. Like you know, they're interchangeable. They're both getting in. Marty Supreme is like coming out on Christmas and is already writing insane momentum,
Mm.
and it's not even out yet. So, yeah, this is just a juggernaut waiting to happen.
Sure. And the fact that even though it missed director at the Globes, which we will also get into, I feel like the fact it got into screenplay at the Globes is huge. Like, that means everything that got in that category is locked. So I wouldn't
Gives
worry
you a
about
case of
this
conversation.
nomination in the slightest. I think maybe I have it at four just because of that, where I'm like, maybe it. Well, it could catch on stronger once it comes out, and I think that's we saw what happened with The Complete Unknown, and of course I don't even need to see the movie to say that this is a much stronger film than A Complete Unknown, which I really liked. But yeah, so I'm not worried
Yeah,
about that. But
Supreme's amazing. Quinn Unknown, I wasn't a fan of.
oh really? Wow, man, wow. I mean, to be fair, I don't think it should have gotten into screenplay, and certainly not
Directors.
director, no. But I think that this movie for sure is going to be a much more agreeable option to
Yeah,
voters,
it's
and
so easy to be like exhilarated by.
exactly, man. And I can't wait, man. I just rewatched Uncut Gems last night at the time of this recording, and I raised it to five. I was like, this is an incredible
One
movie.
of the best movies ever.
It's amazing, man. And so I definitely feel like this. I have an expectation this is going to be even better. So now we get to that fifth place slot, and this is where things are going to get really, really
I'm
interesting.
curious where you get.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so I have good reasoning for this, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I could have gone back and forth with five and six, but at number five I have Blue Moon because I just think that surprise Globe nomination for picture really said a lot. Nobody was expecting that. It got in along with Ethan Hawke, who I think is a lock to get nominated for Best Actor at this point.
Barring
Um,
competition, yeah.
yeah, it's insane, and I honestly wonder if he can take off and get some wins here and there. But we have yet to see throughout the season.
I
But
don't quite buy that theory. Like, I know you're not alone on that theory. I still haven't quite bought it.
yeah, I mean, once again, it's like once we actually see how things shake out, maybe we can reassess.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not buying into it, but it could happen. And this movie, it's just literally when I watched this, and the fact that this was written by Robert Kaplow, this wasn't even written by Richard Linklater, yet it feels so suited to his sensibilities. Like every single scene in this movie is an insanely witty, insightful monologue that has so much emotional weight behind it. It's hysterical. It's literally everything that you'd want out of a movie. Like this movie screams screenplay to me. And so I think if they are, I get it's the writer's branch, there's the actor's branch, but if they are seeing this Ethan Hawke performance, and I'm sure a lot of people are wanting to see it, I don't see why the writer's branch would not latch onto this movie.
Yeah, no, it's my number six. It's definitely like everything you said is correct. It's such a screenplay, and yeah, it got that Globe nom, which was a real adrenaline boost for not for obviously Ethan Hawke, who's yeah, like you said, just like barring Joel Edgerton's strength, just kind of coasting to a nomination.
Mm,
Yeah, the screenplay is full of monologues and wittiness and like kind of like this taking this tortured artist narrative in a much more interesting direction, despite the fact that it's all a chamber piece.
mm.
I could buy into it for sure. But my number five, I'm going a little different. Similarly, got a big adrenaline boost at Globes, and also is an actor like I would say even more than Hawk, a lock,
Mm.
and that's of course the Secret Agent. Um, this movie is by no means an obvious screenplay film, but in many ways it also is. It's got like this writing, the way this writing works in like it's. You haven't have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
actually my number six. So
Oh, it's outstanding. The way the movie reveals itself, like slowly, I think is really gonna impress voters, and I think more than Blue Moon, like if we're going between the two, I think Secret Agent. Obviously, I have Secret Agent in Best Picture. I don't have Blue Moon in Best Picture.
Mhm.
Um, and I just think it's like that's where the passion vote comes from. I mean, they could go Blue Moon. I'm not blind to that. But I just feel the way that Secret Agent's being embraced early on, like it has this like almost like a head start. And with Wagner possibly winning the Globe, that's gonna like really boost the Secret Agent's like visibility, where it can get an extra nomination like this that'll like really like put an exclamation mark next to its like haul.
Sure, and I think this will be an interesting conversation once we get to director, because there's definitely a lot more prospects to this movie, like you're saying. My one thing, and maybe this is just me. All right, I'm not in the writers' branch, so what the fuck do I know, right? But I feel like the structure to this movie is quite strange. Like I really enjoyed the movie at the time. I haven't at the time of this recording, I haven't rewatched it yet, and I am really looking forward to doing so. But I just feel like the way this is kind of pieced together, it isn't, let's say, as tight of a screenplay as Blue Moon. So I don't know. That's just kind of my gut reaction watching this movie. But I do think it is extremely unique, and a lot of people are obviously loving it. It's become a fixture in this awards race, and so it's easily number six. I honestly. Do we think we can talk about the other? Because I have three other movies that I think are potentially
I can only
nominees.
think of three other.
So we probably have the same ones, I'm guessing too.
Probably.
But do you think those three get in over these two movies, or is that?
It would require some strokes of luck.
Mhm.
Is it in pot like Secret Agent can get into the picture without a screenplay?
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
not blind to that. It only really needs Wagner at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And Blue Moon doesn't need picture.
No.
Um, it would take some strokes of luck, Like these are not out of the conversation, but they could ride some good momentum.
Well, let's see what we got, man, because I kind of have underneath, I would say at 7 I have Jake Kelly. Just because of how how much it is a part of the conversation, but it took a big hit at the Globes. Who's to say? But I could totally see Noah Baumbach and Emily Mortimer pulling that lone nomination for the movie at this point, or maybe Nicholas Bertel. I don't know. But the writers branch, they love Noah Baumbach. He's gotten in many times before. He just got in for Barbie, so I could totally see that if the industry takes off. But yet again, it's one of those things where you kind of have to wait and see with that one. But I would throw it right underneath those ones.
I have it at number 9.
Wow. Okay.
I
Okay.
just think I feel similarly with this. I feel with Wicked, which is like, I feel more so with Wicked, but
Yeah.
like that Globe snub, like a movie like that, you cannot do that. Like,
Mm.
you can't do that. Like you can compare it to like Maestro or Bohemian Rhapsody or Don't Look Up or Amelia Perez, all you want. Those movies didn't miss a beat. Jay Kelly can't do that. And Kelly has a little more survivability thanks to the fact that people really do like those actors. Um, that said, if this movie's not getting picture, I can't see it getting screenplay. Like I just
Not.
can't.
Okay. So it's either the best picture nominee or Blue Moon then basically.
Yes, but there are other options. Like
So
I don't
what
think
what
Blue
it,
Moon like is so like I don't think Blue Moon and Secret Agent have like such an obvious lead.
mm. Well, I guess in that case, let me ask you, what do you have at number 7?
Weapons.
Ah, okay. I have Weapons at number 9. So there we go. Flip Jay
I don't think
Kelly,
it'll
flip
actually
Weapons.
happen, but Weapons got that great choice nom. It's gonna get WGA. Um, and people love that movie. And we know Madigan's getting in. So, and like Weapons is such a weird thing because I liked it a lot. And like you just see like critics groups are putting in like the top 5
Mm.
and giving Madigan the win. Like Weapons isn't going anywhere. Um, Now, do I know if it's gonna get this nom? Hard to tell. Like I don't want to overstep with horror, but Weapons just seems to be a special case where like just clicked with everyone.
Yeah, and I think the screenplay, it's the
Mhm.
structure is incredible and so intriguing. So I definitely could see it, getting that sort of trajectory. And I'm very happy because I love Weapons. If I was in the writers branch, I would actually vote this into the 5. So I could totally see that happening, especially if people are watching Amy Madigan in that way. But I also think it's this horror movie that came out in August. It'd be lucky to get the 2 nominations that it probably will get. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I also wouldn't hold out too much hope on it either. So
We could be in a position where like that's like the de facto number 5 because
mm,
like again WGA is gonna nominate that. Like that's gonna happen. Like I don't like, and then after that it's like I don't know if they're like maybe we'll talk about it. Like Sorry Baby's not eligible for WGA. Like I don't think Blue Moon is, and so like it has that edge, but it's still like this movie has visibility. Like Weapons is not nothing. Um, but yeah, it comes with its obvious asterisk.
so I guess in that case is Sorry Baby your number 8?
It is my number 8.
Same here.
It needs a lot of good luck to be honest, because it got that Chris Choice nom. Eva Victor got that Globe nom. That's all that's gonna happen for Sorry Baby for the rest of the season. So you need to ride that wave. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, but it's shown to me this movie's doing better. I have a little weird history with how I nominated Ava Victor at the Globes because I predicted her in comedy, but then I found out the morning of like I got good info that she was actually drama. I'm like, I would have predicted her too. Um, she that movie just it has its hardened fans, but it's also not by any means like big movie. But
Sure.
it's there. Like the work is there.
Yeah, and I think out of all the indies in this category, I think that this is the one that's really catching the most, attention. Heat might not be the right word, but you know what I mean.
Attention, yeah, but I would still call it fringe.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And so, I mean, we'll see. This is probably the most interesting. Well, actually, no. The next category I definitely think is a little bit more interesting when it all is said and done. All right, so now we move on to the next screenplay category, which I find to be a little bit of a bloodbath because I think this category there are for sure two things that will happen, and we don't need to doubt. But the rest of this category is kind of up in the air, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm excited to talk this out with you and see where we land. But I think this is maybe the biggest no-brainer. Besides maybe another category that has to do with this movie that we'll be talking about. One Battle After Another is winning this award, and it's not even it's not even close.
Yeah. It's just yeah, like it's just yeah, like there's just no, like I said before about like Sinners, it's this genre fusion that they love. The movie's winning Best Picture. The writers overdue. Paul Thomas Anderson. It's his time. It's all the pieces are there, and I don't even know what would. I have an idea of what would beat it, but and that's just weak to me. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even then,
Yeah, because and it also helps too. Like, not only is it an overdue narrative, but it's like one of the most, maybe the most quotable movie of the year. It's
it
so tight,
is.
and it is construct. I mean, there's so many amazing lines. You know, we got a little bit of a Latino Harriet Tubman situation going on
Yeah,
there.
with all the
And of
like.
course, the few small beers.
Oh my God. It's so easy to quote like nonstop. Life, man. Like it's such a great script that balances like genres and like more like obviously political stuff, but also like very beautiful this very beautiful father-daughter thing. It yeah. Yeah.
It's incredible. So
It's just
no
yeah.
brainer there. But I wonder. I think we're probably on the same page. But number two, I have Hamnet, and I thought maybe at one point, but this, it's an amazing film. Not really a screenplay movie like that.
I've been number three.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
wow.
It'll get in. Kind of like you said, it's very much it's like this family drama. It's this like mostly a visual poetry type of deal. That's not Chloe Zhao's thing. Like she won for directing for Nomadland, not screenplay.
Mm.
Which it makes sense. But yeah, it'll get in. The Hamnet's super strong. It's not showing any real sign of like, weakness. So yeah, this should be a layup.
So I get. Let me guess what your number two is, because I think I know exactly what you're thinking. Is it No Other Choice?
It is.
I had a
It
feeling.
is. I've been a no other choice truther since before Venice.
Wow. Okay.
That's pain, and that, to me, it's paid off. But even if somehow in this picture, this to me feels like a layup. Like the
Hmm.
fact that Critics' Choice went for it, and it's not even, and that's not a very like they didn't go with accident in screenplay, and they went with this in screenplay. They had options, and they went with this. To me, it's like okay, Park Chan-wook is overdue for his nomination. I think everyone in the industry
Yeah.
knows this. It got that Globe Picture nomination. That immediately put it, if it wasn't already on the map, it was on the map now.
Sure, man. And also,
And
go ahead. Go
it
ahead.
just, yeah, sorry. It's this genre, again, genre is a key thing with screenplay. And this movie deals with that in a chaotic way while also dealing with something. Yes, it's in South Korea, but it's universal.
Hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, it's so topical for the time with the rise of AI and unemployment. I mean, we're feeling this even more after
The
the
job
premiere,
market, the way
right?
men react to unemployment, like, oof.
It's insane, man. And honestly, like, if it were up to me, I think this is the best script of the entire year. It's like one of the most perfectly structured screenplays I have seen in a very long time, I would say, and that's no knock at One Battle After Another, or well, not Hamnet, but Sinners. But I'm a little concerned. Like, I'm not. I'm slightly concerned because you make a lot of great, points that the critics. This is what I'm saying. This is going to be an interesting discussion, because the Critics' Choice did nominate it for adapted screenplay, but it's a little bit harder for me to gauge. Now I have it at number 4, and I am praying that it is going to get in, and I have no reason to think why the writer branch would ignore this. But another great script, nowhere near as good, but still a great script. That's a high bar to begin with. At number 3, I have Frankenstein, just because I don't think this needs to get nominated over some other things. Personally, even though I like this movie more than some other movies in this category, I don't know if I would nominate it for screenplay necessarily. It's more for me, I'd say the directing and the filmmaking is what stands out to me a bit more. But it's really taken off like a rocket. I didn't even think it was going to be this much of a contender when I saw it at TIFF, even though it was one of my favorite movies from the festival. But this just makes sense. Guillermo has been wanting to make this movie for over 30 years. I mean, you look at every movie he's done, he tries to, crowbar Frankenstein into it somehow. And so I really do think that it's one of the front runners. Well, not front runners in Best Picture, but it's close to top 5, I would say, and so it just makes sense to me. And No Other Choice, I think it's in a very good spot right now, especially after the Globe nominations. That gets me excited, and maybe you could make the argument, and maybe you will make the argument to me, Adriano, that it was number 7 in the screenplay category at the Globes. But yet again, it's a little sight unseen at this point to see exactly how far it is going to go and exactly how people are feeling about this movie.
Yeah, I have Frankenstein at 4. Kind of
Okay.
like you said, it doesn't need it. It might just be like the movie's so fucking strong. And the script is like definitely savvy enough. Like it's got like a bunch of doctor speak. Um, and like it's the key thing with Frankenstein is not being treated like a Universal Monster remake. It's being
No.
treated as an adaptation of a classic. I think that's key for Frankenstein. It's too strong to miss at this point. We've seen that plenty of times where it's like they don't need screenplay nominations. They just love the movie too much. Complete Unknown speaks to mind. Amelia Perez speaks to mind. Top Gun Maverick speaks to mind. Roma springs to mind. Where it's like a lot of what people love about that movie is the visuals, but the movie's so strong. And after that Globe outing, which when that happened, I was like, so Lordy's a lock, and this movie's winning 3 Oscars at minimum.
Yeah, I agree. And
It's
and
yeah, yeah, it doesn't need it, but like I guess Mank also missed the screenplay, so like never say never, but it would feel weird for it to miss at this point.
sure, and like all those movies you mentioned that were nominated, I do think that this is a stronger screenplay. So I think to your point, it very well is probably more likely than, let's say, a Top Gun Maverick or
Yeah,
Amelia Perez.
yeah. Top Gun Maverick we were like surprised by Amelia Press. Top Gun Maverick we were like surprised by Frankenstein and might just coast.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be. And so, yet again, it just makes more sense to put it above No Other Choice, I think, at this point in time. But I think, like I said, that's also probably the most deserving,
I
nominee
would
in that
say
category.
Frankenstein is a stronger movie, obviously, like in terms of contender.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No Other Choice is a much more easy screenplay to nominate. Like to
Sure.
me, No Other Choice after that Globe nom, to me, there's no more doubt in my mind. It's like it's on the map. It's not even out yet. It's kind of like when I said about Murder Spring. It's got all this momentum and it's not even out yet. To me, that's like how many neon movies do you have in Best Picture, by the way? And if it's less
Uh,
than 4, try again.
4.
Good God.
Right now. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, that's a tough thing, man. And I really want to see this be a lot because I think it absolutely deserves it. And this is where it gets a little tricky because I have a few movies around the spot. Not too many movies vying for the 5th slot, but there's a couple that I'm like, it's a fucking bloodbath, man. And right now, I mean, this is why it's so tough to gauge because one movie has been doing extremely well, better than the other, and I don't have that in screenplay because right now I have Train Dreams in the 5th place slot, and so I'm wondering where you because Begonia is so strong as well, and so I'm not sure what to do here, man. But I think Train Dreams is still taking off, and we've seen it take off incredibly well, even with it missing at the Globes.
I'm okay with it missing Globe only because it missed out to a Best Picture contender as well. I
Hmm.
think it's different when like Jay Kelly missed out for Nouvelle Vague. It's like Train Trees missed out for Secret Agent. It's like, well, they're both strong.
Yeah.
So that's like a little more survivable. But yeah, I do have Train Dreams on number five. That movie is just, other than that Globe miss, like that's about it in terms of weakness. And like that's a big weakness, to be fair. Like to be
Hmm.
completely fair, that's a big hit. But unlike something like Jay Kelly and Wicked, Train Dreams has passion for days. People love this film. It is just growing. That's how you get into that 10th slot in Best Picture. And on top of that, Train Dreams with critics is annihilating.
Yeah.
It has the fifth most like critics like picture mentions than any like other than One Battle, Sinners, Hamnet, and Marty Supreme. I believe it was other no, it was Marty Supreme. Train Dreams has the most. Like this movie's not going anywhere.
Mm.
And this feels like a layup category for it to get. Now it's no lock, but it shouldn't have a problem getting this. I don't think it's done getting screenplay nominations. At WGA, the only like major that screenplay contender that's ineligible is, of course, No Other Choice.
Yeah, because they hate
So
him.
yeah, that.
Not his fault. Not his fault.
Yeah, apparently a bunch of bullshit. Apparently,
Yeah, but no, but this is the interesting thing because of course Sing Sing, same writers, minus Clarence Macklin, that got in.
the guy Domingo played
Oh, right. That's true.
Divine
Um,
Eyes.
Divine Eye, yeah, yeah, and so it makes me think. I'm like, this is much stronger than Sing Sing, so it's like, why wouldn't it get in? But let me ask you this, Adriano: do you see a potential future where Train Dreams misses picture, gets into screenplay, but Begonia gets in picture and misses screenplay?
No.
Mm.
Begonia in picture would require a screenplay nom. It doesn't even need picture to get a screenplay, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, the only reason Begonia is such a weird thing with me right now, because if I was playing it smart, I'd have Begonia in picture, but not Train Dreams.
Mm.
And the only reason I don't have Begonia in pictures because the other movies, the other, so we have the Seven Locks, and then a couple of alternatives. Begonia just feels like it's stagnant. A good place, yes, but stagnant. And then No Other Choice, Secret Agent, and Train Dreams are just going, you
Mm.
know,
That's
like
a good
going
point.
up. Begonia, I don't know. Begonia's still not really clicking with me, and maybe it should. And it's no bias. I love the film. It's just something about Begonia isn't quite like clicking as like you got to put this in. And logically, screenplay should could be considered an easy place,
Mm.
but I don't know. This is where my head's at right now. I think the it just kind of comes down to I think No Other Choice is strong, and I also think Train Dreams is just not slowing down its momentum.
Mm.
So that's where I'm at. I have Begonia out of circumstance, really.
You could say that Train Dreams is not losing steam, huh?
It's
Sorry.
still it's going to the next station.
Yeah,
It's on
there you
track.
go. You one up me there.
It's
No,
on
but
track.
well, isn't it weird to say that like weirdly enough, I like Train Dreams better as a movie, but
Oh
I
yeah, me too.
like I think the script to Begonia is stronger as like a screenplay. Isn't that kind of weird?
It's not weird at all. Especially for a film like Train Dreams. Yeah, Begonia is much more of a flashy script. It's a bit of a chamber piece. It's two ideologies clashing at each other. It's got comedy. It's got a little bit of a sci-fi thing going for it. What you're saying makes total sense. And maybe there is a reality where Begonia gets in instead of Train Dreams, but Train Dreams still gets picture.
Mm.
You kind of said the other thing where it's like Begonia gets picture but not script. Like to me, that doesn't like I can't see that.
Mm.
But Train Dreams getting picture but not screenplay a little more feasible in my head because that movie's
Hmm.
more visuals.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah, and I think people just love Train Dreams, and that movie's not in no short supply of screenplay mentions.
sure. That's why I'm like, it seems like more of like a safe bet, right? But Begonia hasn't been missing, so I mean, yet again, we'll have to see. It's one of those things. But
Yeah.
I only think that there's another couple of movies even competing, and even then
I
I
want
don't
to say
think
I
it's.
only see one.
Was it Wake Up Dead Man?
It's Wake Up Dead Man.
Yeah, and even that feels like it's not happening at this point.
Yeah, it just feels like it's not
Yeah,
happening this time. Which, although I will say, it came out this weekend on Netflix, and
it's true.
it's finally feeling like like it's taken off.
Hmm.
Like finally, but it might be too late this time around. And hopefully, for his next movie, Ryan goes with a real company.
Yeah, that would definitely help things out a lot. And so,
Yeah, 100% it would. I think that's what it
yeah.
is. Like, 'cause people love these films, and now that people are finally seeing Wake
Mhm.
Up Dead Man, they're all loving it. I think this movie's outstanding. Like, genuinely, I think this movie's like when I saw it, I went to the premiere at TIFF, and I was like, this is an excellent film, and it's just maybe too a little too late, unfortunately. It's still a
Yeah,
possibility. You got to consider it a little bit, but it just might be too late. But it's there.
yeah. Very minusculely, I'll say, because I'm like I don't know, and maybe this is just me, but like I also found some of the jokes to be a lot more egregious. Only a couple where it was really rolling my eyes, and so and there's a couple things where I'm like I don't know if this like adds up completely, but I can't wait to rewatch it.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna say watch
rewatch it
it
in a few
again
weeks.
because
So
because I loved it at first too, and even the second viewing, I was like, this is pretty out. Like this is much tighter
mm,
than it seemed on first viewing, which I felt the same with the Glass Onion as well,
yeah,
where
that's my favorite one.
something's a little off here, and then a second viewing that I'm like, oh, this is all intentional.
Mm. And I will make a point about Glass Onion actually because that was actually my second favorite movie of 2022 and it would not even make my top 10 this year. So I think that goes to show you just how strong this
And
year
even
is.
Glass Onion, that was like at the time, like I just remember talking to them about it. Netflix was like willing trying to get this into picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this year, it's just not. They're just not. It's not in their head that it can get even touch a picture nomination.
And to say that even screenplay is a little out of its reach, I really just think says a lot about the strength of this year and how many contenders there are. So yet again, I don't know. Like beyond that, I have Nuremberg mentioned because it just seems like an Oscar baity thing, and I also want to.
It's shaken off already. I've seen it. It's
Mhm.
kind of just. It's kind of exactly what you think it is. A little more mature than it lets on, but it's like pretty obvious. I that feels like oh yeah, that would get in like 2015.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, man. Like it probably would. I mean, September 5 still happened last year, and so they do like to do
Yeah,
that every once in a while.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but
I'm not here to defend the September 5 in any capacity,
no, I
but
like it, but it didn't deserve a screenplay
I didn't
nomination.
really like it. But like that
Yeah,
took off early. Nuremberg just kind of feels like a ghost.
sure. And one other movie. I don't know if there's any other movies you want to mention. I just wanted to mention Life of Chuck, which I love, but fell so fucking far down. It could have been nominated last year, but
Like
they really
Neon's
whipped that one. Oh
like
my
Neon's
goodness.
seventh contender. Like it's
Yeah.
just
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, but were there any other movies you wanted to mention in this category?
not
Or?
really like everything else. Like it's we kind of said like oh like, I feel like original screenplay like yeah it's a little tighter because we know what the top four is, but adapted I feel like the contenders are in our face like we know what they are. Whereas
Yeah.
after once we get past Wake Up Dead Man, it's just like I'm looking at the award expert apps like Springsteen's a 0% chance, Hedda's not happening, Die My Love. I mean, I love that movie, but no, Wicked, hilarious.
Yeah. I mean that is like just freshly buried, but it's going to get buried deeper as the season goes along. So I guess I mean it seems like we're in agreement on one battle after another. Hamnet, Frankenstein, No Other Choice, and Train Dreams. So,
Yeah, we're the
um,
same order aside, they have the same five.
all right. So now we get to the last category in this discussion, and one of the biggest categories at the Academy Awards, if you ask me, and that is Best Director. And let's just rip off the band-aid. Number one, Paul Thomas Anderson. No need to debate this for the rest of the season. He is, well, I mean, there is someone else who's been winning a few things here and there, but this seems like he's going to steamroll the entire season, and it's not even going to be close.
Yeah, the balance is like you mentioned another person's been winning, so I'm like it's not even a one to one. It's like
No.
it's not balanced at all. It's this PTA, it's anybody else. It's so him. It's the right time. It's this big studio spectacle film. Like, and it also happens to be one of his most acclaimed movies. Yeah, cut it short. He's got this.
Yeah. And it really does feel like they are rewarding him, like you said, for one of his best movies. And it's really some of the most impressive filmmaking ever. Like, I just keep thinking of that scene with the hill. I'm just like, it's so simple,
The
but yet,
entire back 10 cross sequence, like every like from when he gets on the phone outside of the market to when he falls off the building,
oh
it's
man,
just adrenaline and funny and tense. It's like, oh, incredible stuff.
dude. And I was thinking too, because like raised my rating later for this movie. I loved it the first time, but the first time I saw it, that was probably the sequence that stood out to me the most. I'm like, how is he able to like weave together so many different things and not lose track at all? Is able to maintain that tension and keep it building where you don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to get to him before he gets off the phone? I mean, it's incredible. And even though he wouldn't be personally my number one, I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that this would be an exceptional win. So
He'll be great when he wins.
yeah, exactly, man. And it's in yet again long overdue, very well deserved. And number two, I think personally, you might disagree with this. I think that this is the only other lock per se in this category. At least it feels to me right now. But there's another one who I think is becoming more of a lock as the days go on. But this is Jafar Panahi, and it was just an accident. He's just getting nominated everywhere. Everyone wants this to happen. Personally, I could see other filmmakers getting in over this when it comes to direction. But quite the achievement, and everyone loves this movie. Everyone loves Panahi, and his narrative is absolutely insane, and just keeps getting more insane as the days go along. So they're going to want to reward him in this category, and they love these movies that premiere at Cannes, and this won the Palme d'Or. So I think it's safe to say that this is almost but guaranteed a nomination. And like us, he was the other one who's been winning a couple things, and I don't see that repeating outside of some critic circles. But yeah, he seems like an absolute lock in this category.
Yeah, if there was another lock, it would be him.
Mm.
It just seems like a thing everyone's behind at this point. That Panahi is like deserving for this nomination, and let's just give it to him. Like, yeah, he won't win, but it seems like a gimme. And the way the movie's not the flashiest direction in the world, but then again, like everyone remembers that final 20 minutes, like the
Mm.
way that the movie weaves certain like narratives and like tension. Yeah, it's super easy to see why this is like kind of slam dunk. And yeah, like you said, like it's got the international appeal. Like after winning that Palme d'Or, it's like a movement everyone's behind. Let's get him the nom.
Sure, man. And I honestly think for me, I see it more as a screenplay movie than a directing
I would
movie. I
agree
mean,
with
you
that.
got the one uninterrupted take, which is like 7 minutes long, which is amazing. But I mean, I do have to give him credit for stringing this all together. But the industry is saying that this is going to happen, and yeah, so that's no, so he's number two for you. You would say?
Yes, I would say he's number two. Like I don't have a case against him at this time, except for competition is so fierce.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like he clearly has a leg over most of them. Like when the Gothams happened, and he just like not that the Gothams have any correlation. Like I don't take Gotham seriously, but when that happened, it was just like, hey, they're listening. Like
Right.
they like how good that feels.
For sure, man. And well, so here's the thing when it comes to number three. Because I've just been coming around on this recently. I think you've been a little higher on this prospect for a while. But like we were saying earlier, this is becoming the clear number two in the race. Now, I think the clear number two last year didn't get a Best Director nomination, but I feel like that this is Conclave. I feel like this one is
Um,
certainly more. Well, I mean, it won a lot of stuff, and
Number two in the end, I will
in the
say.
end, yes, exactly. But this one I feel like probably will be number two in the end as well, and I just think that this one has the juice to go all the way. It's just a cultural juggernaut, and of course that's Ryan Coogler for Sinners. It would feel almost like a slap in the face if he didn't get a Best Director nomination for this. And I get I am someone who say it's not all about the politics. Whether a female director doesn't get in but I feel like with this one it would be really bad if they
It'd be
didn't. Oh,
sus.
yeah, if they didn't nominate a black filmmaker for a movie like this, for something that is just for that one "I lied to you" sequence alone. That is the best directed sequence of the entire year. To me, that is the greatest moment in any movie so far this decade. So I'm just like, how can you deny how great the filmmaking is, what he accomplished in regards to all the different tones and genres, combining them together in a way that does not feel jarring at all, feels extremely natural. I just feel like this is almost, I don't want to say it's a for sure thing, but it feels as the days go by more and more likely that this isn't a Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2 or Greta Gerwig for Barbie.
Yeah, the only thing that you like puts these two together is that this is also a studio film, and I'm like, that's not enough for me. This is not being treated as a genre. I mean, it is, but like not degradingly. This
No.
is at the end of the day a period drama and an artist's vision. Like it's being treated as such. The fact that critics are going after Coogler in droves, and like I said earlier, this is just Coogler's movie. Like this is his moment to shine. I have him at three.
Mm.
Just by the nature of the race, I can't call him a lock just because like there's just so many moving parts in this category that I can't call anyone outside of PTA like a firm like they're not going anywhere. Even Panahi, like
Mm.
he'll get in, but like I want to keep my options open. Kugler, like it's too like again, it's kind of like what I said about Panahi. Like everyone's in on it. Like let's get him in. Like we all want him in. Let's get him in.
For sure, man, and I really do hope that is the case because I would vote for him above PTA even. I think for a win, even though it's not my favorite directed movie of the year. We will get to that eventually. But yeah, everyone would be upset if this doesn't happen. But yet again, this category makes no fucking sense
Nah,
to
maybe a little
begin
bit.
with this year. So who's to say? But I do think a clear number four at this point in time is Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value. And watching that again, I completely understand the nomination, even though I think there probably are some stronger contenders. But just the way he brings a story together, there's so many great moments. Without spoiling it for those who haven't seen it, like the movie within the movie with the train, like is some of the best directing in the movie. The ending is incredible. And in the way this entire ensemble is just acting their asses off. I just feel like this makes sense and it feels right, and I'm certainly more down with this. I think maybe even more so than Jafar Panahi. Yeah, I think it's his time to get his first nomination. And they love the can directors. I know you're not as big on the stats you said before, but it is interesting that they
Yeah.
they love. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Though the directors, man, they love these canned movies, and there hasn't been a movie that's missed since Moulin Rouge, and I don't see why Sentimental Value would miss. You know what I mean? It
Well,
makes sense that Moulin Rouge would miss. I'll put it
to
that
that, I
way.
would say the more can becomes a factor in the Oscar race, the more misses we'll see.
Okay,
Um, that with that in mind, I do have Joachim Trier in,
number
like
four.
tentatively at number
Oh, okay.
five.
Number five.
And
Okay.
director has too many moving pieces at this moment. Like
Yeah.
there's too much to work with. As you said, I'm not a stats guy. I think to me, when I hear stats, I call them fake rules because a lot of the time people look at stats as a no, as like an end all be all, and they ignore the other factors. So like I use this as like it's an exaggeration. Obviously. Like a couple years ago, somebody DM'd me going like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry, but I need to predict Laura Dern for the Sun." And I go, "No, you don't. She's not getting in." He goes like, no, no, you don't understand, man. It's a stat. There has to be at least one winner, a previous winner in supporting actors. I go, what the fuck are you talking
No,
about? No, they
huh?
don't.
That's not a
And it's like,
stat.
exactly. And he goes like, since 2004. And I'm like, that's a coincidence. That's not like, I've read the rules. That's not in the book. And that's why I ignore stats because it's like, a lot of times it's just
Mhm.
coincidental. There's correlation, of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, Ruben Östlund. Who would have thought?
Ruben, but even that one, that's like, okay, he's a bit of a name director. That movie had a little more like showiness in his direction. Now, with that in mind, sentimental value, I have Trier in his direction, like really stood out to me when I saw it.
Yeah.
It is just at the end of the day, like, okay, we got these big spectacle films. Genre's playing a real part in the director race this year, and this kind of isn't really in that camp. But I can't really deny that sentimental value isn't slowing down anytime soon. It might not be top five, but it's still got a lot of heat on it, and it's probably getting four acting noms.
Yeah. And I can see why you would have it, or why it could miss if it's not top five, right? But I just think based on everything that you and I have said, I just feel like it's kind of hard to deny at this point. But
It is,
if
but so is some people I have missing. Like
that is true, and I'm wondering where you'll land on this because I haven't heard your four. So how about you tell me what your four is, and we'll see if that is my five.
I have Josh Safdie at number four.
Wow.
I know he
Okay.
missed
Oh,
the Globe. I know he missed the
it's getting
Globe. I'm
interesting.
aware. I'm aware. To me, Safdie would have beaten Baker last year. Like, I've
Hmm.
seen the film. I am a little biased, obviously. But I think Safdie is one of the most well-regarded indie filmmakers in the game. Him and his brother. And you give them the opportunity to nominate their movie and not get a director just doesn't click with me.
Hmm.
And I've seen directors miss Globe, but then coast the rest of the way. Like Todd Field comes to mind. PTA for Licorice Pizza comes to mind. And this is a sprawling sports epic, like adrenaline pumping, like crazy epic that I just think Safdie's too well regarded for them to like snub him for this kind of direction.
Hmm. Well, honestly, just based on what you said, you convinced me to move him up to six because I
Okay,
had him at seven. Which and I do think he could miss. But yet again, you
I
make a
had to
really great
consider it. Yeah.
point. But yet again, it hasn't come out yet, and a
Right.
complete
It's
unknown.
gonna shoot up.
Yeah, and a complete unknown surged, and I certainly don't think that movie deserved a Best Director nomination in the slightest.
He'll
But
also
this
get
sounds.
DGA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So and I think Safdie's easily going to get that. So it makes sense that this could make it in, and I believe you that this is probably way more deserving, and I probably will watch the movie and agree with you that he should be nominated. But for right now, I have Chloe Zhao at number five. This is like top three picture contenders, so it makes sense, right, on paper. But a lot of things aren't making sense, like I said. And honestly, I would be, I mean, I'd be happy to see her get nominated. It's one of my like favorite movies of the year. But if she missed, I'd be like, oh, okay, because I even think like, for instance, I think the filmmaking in Frankenstein is maybe even stronger in a lot of ways. So it's like I could see her getting in just based on the strength of the film alone, but I could also see her missing. But just for now, it makes sense to me. So I have her at number five. Where do you have her on your list?
Oh, right at number six. Like I'm
Okay.
fluctuating between her, Trier, and Safdie. Like I don't really know how to balance all these. Like in any of the year, I'd be like Locke, like for like a
Hmm.
former winner, like doing this like Malick-esque, period, like tearjerker with an acting winner. It's all there. It's just I can't fit them all in, and that's the bummer of it all. And but like, man, I can look like a fucking fool.
Well, that's the thing. It's so hard to predict, and that's
I've
another.
I've resigned myself to knowing I'm not getting 5 out of 5 in this category.
No,
I've accepted it. I just want to get four.
you would be you. It would be a crapshoot if you got all five. Someone's going to do it, but that's going to be very hard to call because everybody's going to have a different five. This is the most chaotic best director race I've ever seen.
It is.
So who's
We
to
haven't
say,
even
right?
mentioned Guillermo del Toro yet.
And he's I had him at number 6, but I am convinced. But here's the thing: I'm like, is he number 6 or is he number 7? Because the Academy loves it. He's a previous winner, like Chloe Zhao. This
Everyone
movie
loves
is
this dude.
yeah, he's an industry favorite, an extremely nice guy, and
Hmm.
and the filmmaking is incredible in this movie. So, and I would have him in my 5 personally. I would nominate Guillermo del Toro for this. So as of now, and so I don't know, like it just makes sense. I mean, if Nightmare Alley could get in the picture, this is way stronger contender. We all know this,
Yeah.
and he got nominated to Globes.
Yeah, that really made me go, oh wow, he might actually
Yeah.
do it. Um,
And he's getting DGA, I'm
he is
sure.
getting DGA. BAFTA could be telling.
Yeah.
We're not getting it until afterwards, but we are getting the long lists. And the long list for director, they split between male and female, and there's only 10 slots.
Hmm.
So he might not even make the long list. And that would be a good sign for like what I feel about these fringe stuff. Um Del Toro, I think he fits the mold of like that Denis Villeneuve, Greta Gerwig snub a little bit better. It just so happens that this one's not theatrical. Except I think they respect this guy so much more. I mean, they respect the hell out of Greta and Denis, like no doubt. But Del Toro, like, he directing a Frankenstein. It's such a big tech movie. It's so hard to tell. Like, everybody loves this guy. Other than PTA, he's easily the most loved guy in this group.
Oh, absolutely. And probably as a person, I would say the most so.
Oh, easily. Everyone loves this dude. So, yeah, him missing doesn't really make a lot of sense, but here we are.
Yeah, man. It's going to be unfortunate anybody who gets cut from this
Oh,
lineup.
our hearts
And
being broken no matter what.
yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. Because this is where it gets really interesting. Because in number 8, I have somebody, and I wonder if we're on the same page here. I have somebody who I think should win this category, and that's Park Chan Wook. And I just don't like. And the only reason I have him above another director who we'll talk about is because it's like this is like the best filmmaking I've seen all year. Like I just don't understand how this is even missing. Why is this not a part of the broader conversation? Is beyond my realm of comprehension.
So I don't know how. I do not know how at all. But somehow either Park Chan-wook or Kleber Mendonca feel how we're getting in. I don't know
Mm.
how. Any other year I'd be like, I'm gonna predict one of them. I'm gonna be the hero who predicts them correctly. This year I just can't do it. Like I physically can't do it. If one when one of them get in, yes, when one of them get in, it'll just shock us. But like those are such like directing, like especially Park, where it's like, all right, is this time? Let's get him in director. Like we're already getting him in screenplay. Let's go another step. Um, and then like both of them have these big, flashy, stylistic filmmaking. Park a little bit more, obviously, and on
Yeah.
top of that, he's more famous. Yeah, man, this category is such a clusterfuck because everything we've known about director in the past couple of years, everything that we taught ourselves director is kind of being all shoved at us at once. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Sinners is a studio genre film, but it's also a highly respected, like, auteur vision that's getting critical of. Yeah, sentimental values, a can like title with European like tendencies, but it's a smaller thing. It's not quite as like in your face as these other directors, Josh Safdie, and then Park Chan-wook, Chloe Zhao together. Like it's this thing that director is playing with us this year that I just can't make sense of, at least right now. And maybe it's because we already know who's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because like the fact that PTA is just so in, like he's so winning that it almost renders the rest of the lineup obsolete. But it's like we're getting heartbroken no matter what. Like if
Sure.
Park Chan-wook gets in, it's at the expense of like Safdie or Trier. It's like, oh no, but yay, Park Chan-wook. It's like, ugh.
Mm. And well,
Yeah, this is a mess.
it is, man, and it's an interesting point that you say that you have them lower, but one of them is absolutely going to make it in. And to
I
that
feel it in
point,
my bones. I feel it in my bones. One of them is making it. I don't know how. I do not know how. Like, don't ask me how. Like, who they got a knife. Like of our like everyone has a consensus top seven at this point.
Mhm.
They got a knife three of those people to get in. Like
Crazy, dude. And
they
well,
gotta
honestly,
literally be Lee Byung Hun's character, no other choice to get in.
yeah, yeah, gain sympathy somehow for that. But here's the thing: like, if we are looking at stats, oh, dirty word. Secret Agent, it's a Cannes movie getting in the Best Picture. Why wouldn't he get nominated? Clever Mendoza Filo.
Well, this is where I'm gonna like put my skepticism on this stats. Like, if no other choice was ready in time for Cannes, would that have changed its fate?
Who knows?
That's kind of my issue with like stuff like that, where it's like, I don't think voters are thinking like that.
Mm,
That's why I'm like not really taking that seriously. But at the same time, Clever Mendoza Feel getting director makes so much sense.
yeah.
Like if he gets in, I'm gonna be like, of course.
Yeah, like we aren't going to
Well,
be surprised at that, especially because he's like an auteur filmmaker. He's beloved in Brazil. The Brazilian voting body keeps getting crazier and crazier. More people in the academy. Yeah,
I
like.
was similar to Panahi though. I think this is most people's first Mendoza film.
Hmm.
Even to an even bigger degree, because I think at the very least some people have seen like Taxi. Whereas I don't know anyone who saw Bacurau until this.
I did.
I
I'm
love it,
crazy.
but
I'm crazy.
I love Bacurau, but like a lot of people was like, this is their first film for Mendoza, and I will say with Secret Agent, a lot of the attention's more towards Wagner, but
Hmm.
how much of that will actually affect Kleber, I don't know. I think what's affecting Kleber is competition more than anything.
Sure, sure, and that's why I have him at 9 at this point. But it's such a cutthroat race, like you said. Like if he makes it in, I'm going to be like, yeah, okay.
BAFTA long list will be telling because, like I said, only five men can make the long list.
Mm,
Zhao's exempt from that, of course, as the only
right.
woman. Which, the only one woman is not great. Um, it's like, man, Park and Kleber could miss that long list and still be okay. Like, it's more like if Safdie missed the long list, that'd be very telling.
Yeah,
Like
and
if Schreier somehow missed, I'd be like, well, shit.
yeah, that's not happening.
Mm.
I don't think it. Yeah.
Again, five,
Mm,
five only.
I feel like BAFTA really liked that movie though.
I
So I'm like,
totally agree,
mm,
but watch out. They nominated Park for decision to leave, mind you.
damn. So he might get in. Well, that's the thing. I feel like this year is going to be the one to break a lot of because it's just like we've never seen anything like this. I don't remember it being this crazy. But I think those are the clear 9, right?
Yeah, there's no one
But
else.
but I do want to mention Clint Bentley for Train Dreams, who at this moment I would nominate for Best Director.
That would be like a Ben Zeitlin type of thing. Um,
Yeah.
like it makes sense. Like in theory, I get this point in time, I can't process considering another person. Like
Mm,
I can't put that in my head right now that there's someone else. Like
damn.
that the Oscar five isn't like there's someone in the Oscar five not in this nine that I'm looking at and I'm like, what?
Well, I guess in that case, I don't really need to say too much more about the category, but I will say, shout out to Yorgos Lanthimos, Oscar favorite. Even though I don't think that's not going to happen.
No, it being mostly in this dude's basement, it's like compared to like his grand spectacle period stuff, it's like no.
Yeah, man, but still, like this is, and the fact that Yorgos isn't even really in consideration this year should really say a lot about how stacked this race is. I think that this is going to be so interesting when we wake up on Oscar nominations morning
Oof.
and get those nominees. I'm going to be like just
No matter what, I'm gonna
cringing
be like
back.
panicking. Like we're a little we're a little over a month away until noms, and I'm at this point, I don't see it getting any clearer because we know what DGA is going to do already. Like we're already
Yeah,
like pretty settled, and we're not getting BAFTA. So it's like the only clue we'll have is, all right, what is Sentimental Valley doing at Guilds? Like, is Marty Supreme actually a juggernaut after release? We're not. I don't think a bunch of clarity is going to come until the nominations, other than the fact that we know who's winning.
sure, man. And this is why this is exciting, man. And I'm glad that we could talk about this because I was like, man, this is going to be a really interesting conversation in regards to the chaotic mess that is going to be this award season. And I'm glad that you were able to come on out of anybody and discuss this with me. So thank you for
Or
coming
thank you
on,
for,
Adriano. And
thank you for having me.
absolutely. And where can people find you if they want to check you out on YouTube and any other
And they
site?
definitely should. I am a writer for Bite Size Breakdown, which I absolutely recommend going to because I'm on there. You can follow me on Twitter at Adriano Caporusso, my YouTube channel where I talk about a lot of what we just talked about, like awards, and I review film and all the jazz that comes with that on my channel, which is just my name, Adriano Caporusso. Please subscribe so I can afford to buy a bike.
Well, that's a very, very fair prospect and thing to want. And honestly, this guy's channel, it's a riot. Has some of the most off the cuff reviews. The Five Nights at Freddy's 2 one was absolutely hysterical. So yeah, this guy's got a lot of great content that you have to check out. And once again, I'm really happy to have you
Of course.
on to talk about this.
Anytime.
And yeah, would love to have you on again soon. But hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Got another video or so when it comes to Oscar predictions and so much more to talk about this upcoming award season and then some. So please stay on the lookout for all that and so much more coming down the pipeline. I will talk to you guys very soon.